What's one thing you would never associate with Halloween? Probably chess, because I mean, come on. Chess with Halloween? Yeah, that's exactly what this video is. In this video, we're going to be making Halloween chess, which is amazing, against normal chess, which is pretty bad. Let's get started. We're going to go piece by piece to make the best chess game ever made. Some random chess expert once said, pawns are the soul of chess. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't really care. But it does mean that pawns are important to chess, so we must pick a good piece for the pawns. Now, what's better to replace pawns than pumpkins for Halloween chess? I mean, look at pumpkins. They're amazing. So, firstly, we need to fix what's bad about pawns. They can only take pieces diagonally. They can move 2 squares on the first move, for no reason, and this causes a weird move called en passant, which we want to get rid of. And they can promote to any piece they want. We need to fix these issues. Now, our pumpkin is going to be very different. Firstly, our pumpkin can only move 1 square at a time. They can take going forwards and diagonally, and they can move diagonally even when they're not taking pieces. Got it? They also can't go backwards, and they can take pieces going forward. Sometimes they can go backwards, and that has to do with promotion, but we'll explain that later. Let's make sure we understand how this piece moves. It can go forward, whether it's taking, or if it just wants to move forward 1 square. It can move diagonally to the right 1 square, whether it's taking, or if it just wants to move here. Same with the left side. Now, I think we understand how this piece moves. We need to actually start building these pieces for ourselves, and then we'll continue on from there. Okay, so the very first thing we obviously need to do is make a chessboard. It's going to look better later, but for now, just a simple chessboard will do just fine. Alright, so we've built the chessboard, and now it's time to start building the pieces. Let's start with the pawn. Okay, so we've decided the pawn is going to be a pumpkin, and we have to draw it. Let's get started with that right now. Okay, so I'm sure you're absolutely amazed at my drawing abilities, but it looks pretty okay. We're going to need to give it some eyes because pumpkins don't look scary without eyes. The orange pumpkin's going to be sort of the white pieces, and then we'll make green pumpkins for the black pieces, or any other color. We'll see. Okay, so we're putting the pumpkins on the chessboard right now, and now I think it's time to make the secondary color pumpkin for black pieces. Let's try it a couple different colors just to see if they work better. Yellow looks pretty ugly. So does whatever this color is. Pink, I guess. That's bad. Green looks much better. I think that was the original idea anyways. I think these look good on the chessboard, I think. The next piece, we're going to design it after a bat, because bats and Halloween kind of mix, sort of. Okay, so we built it mostly. It doesn't look so good, especially with the fangs. We have to fix that. But regardless, I think it's time to reveal this piece's, I guess, ability slash power. We're going to do this, and it's also time to build the new chessboard because it heavily relies on the improved chessboard for its ability. Let me explain right now. Let me explain why the bat is my favorite new chess piece, because of its special ability. Firstly, it takes pieces like a queen, but there's 2 of them, and there's a weird restriction of color due to the new chessboard. What does the new chessboard look like? Well, I've just built it and it looks like this. Yes, confusing, I know. Let's put a bat on here and demonstrate how it actually works. Do you see how the bat is on an orange square? This is not allowed. The bat, if it's a green bat, it must be on a green square. If it's an orange bat, it must be on an orange square. Now, what is the purpose of this? Well, it can move like a queen, so it can move like a rook, it can go up like this, and it can also move like a bishop, so it can move diagonally and it can move through the board. It just can't go on the orange squares. Let's take a look at another example. Now, you see in this position, the bat is actually on an orange square. How did this happen? Well, let's back up a second. Let's say the bat is here, and there's a piece on this square. It's an orange pumpkin. Now, if the bat wants, the bat can actually travel diagonally onto an orange square. However, when it captures this piece, it is unable to move and it is stuck forever until it's captured by another piece. It cannot escape and you're almost certainly going to lose this piece. It's basically just a brick until another piece takes it. let's take a look at one final position. See, the bat could just swoop into the corner and eat this pumpkin, or let's say the pumpkin was here. It could come like a rook even though it's going into the orange territory to grab it. And obviously the bat can take a piece and not get stuck if it's on a green square. So you see, it can just grab it and then now the bat will not die. Hopefully you understand the bat, and now let's move on to the next piece. Okay, so we've put all the pieces that we have so far on the new board. Let's build our next piece, which is going to be a ghost. It's going to replace the rook. I'll explain how it moves after we build it. Let's get started. Okay, this one doesn't look so bad. I think we could use this one, but I think I can do slightly better. This one looks like it's going to fit on the chessboard better, so I think we'll use this one. We'll just give it a little face here. Okay, this is looking better. We'll just put the face. Oh, that didn't work for some reason. There we go. That's better. Ghosts are great because they can fly through things, and that's pretty cool. So our ghosts can do the same thing. We're going to call it phasing, though, because that's a better word. They can phase through pieces. It's going to be the replacement of the rook. There's going to be 2 of these for each side. I'm starting to see that this is going to be a bit overpowered right now, but it's fine. Now, they move like a king if they don't want to phase, or if they can't phase, then they just move like a king. They can phase through as many as their own pieces as they want, and you can only phase twice for enemy pieces. You can eat the final piece you've phased onto. Now, I'm just going to show this because it's way too hard to explain through words, so let's just get started. Okay, let's take a look at this scenario. We have no pieces we can phase through, so we just have to move like a normal king. Sadly, we could move like this. If we didn't want to go there, we could go here. You know, anywhere is fine. We just move like a king. It's pretty boring. Let's just move on. Now, let's take a look at this more interesting scenario. Now we have pieces on the board. Now, here's how phasing works. I could basically hop on top of this pumpkin, and if I wanted to, I could just end my turn here and eat my own piece. Yep, you can eat your own pieces in this game, only with the ghost. You cannot eat your own pieces with your other pieces. Just the ghost can do this. And you can obviously not eat your own king or what's going to replace the king. So let's say you just hop on top of this piece. You don't have to stop here though. You can just jump on top of the next piece, and this piece here, this first pumpkin, is not eaten. It just stays there. You can phase through. Basically, you hop through the pieces, and the one you decide to end on is the one you end up eating. So if I wanted to stop here, my turn is over and I've just eaten this pumpkin, and that piece is now gone. However, let's say I wanted to keep going and I hop here. Now I say I want to take my opponent's piece. I could phase once in my opponent's pieces. That's one turn. If I want it to be done, that's great, and I've just eaten my opponent's pieces. However, I can go one more because now I've phased twice in my opponent's pieces, and now I've eaten his other piece, and now my turn is done and I have to stop. Let's look at another scenario. Okay, in this scenario, let's say I did basically the same thing. I got over here by phasing, and I said, well, look, I don't want to eat this piece. I don't want to eat this piece. Let me just eat this piece. I cannot do that because I cannot phase more than twice within the enemy territories. So I have to eat either this, or any of my own pieces. Okay, here's another scenario. Again, I just wanted to show that you can basically just eat any of your own pieces. Maybe your king is over here somewhere and you need it to be protected, so you just sort of hop over here and use this piece to protect it. This could be a potential strategy in a game, but you don't have to. It's just an idea. Let's move on. The king. Obviously, he needs to be a zombie because, I mean, what else could we make him? Probably a lot of things, but zombie will be the best. Now, we want to give him this nice little head here. Alright, this is looking good. Eyes, and then the mouth is going to have lots of teeth, sharp teeth, and then flat teeth. Both shall be fine. Here we go, sharp teeth. Now I'm going to change the chessboard to actually fit the zombie because he's so big. His starting square has to be 2 squares, and then he can just go on to 1 square, but to change this, and here we go. This is our new and improved chessboard. Yup. Now we just have our king sitting there. Just like a normal king, our piece is super weak. It's zombie. Yep, it can practically do nothing. It's the same as a king, which is sad, but I didn't want to mess up checkmate. So I decided to just get rid of check or checkmate. And now you actually have to capture the zombie to win, because I think that makes a lot of sense. But it moves as the normal king. Alright, it's time to build our final piece, which is going to be a Joker slash clown sort of thing. So let's just get started on making him. He looks a bit more like a reindeer right now, but hopefully he'll look way better. This hair looks just fine. Alright, these eyes look terrifying. Okay, he looks kind of weird. Oh, I added some colors. This looks wonky, if that's a word to describe it. Let's just put him in the chessboard and call it a day. Now, the next piece we have is the clown. Clowns are supposed to be funny, but really they're not. So, our clown is an angry clown, and it's a rook and knight combo, kind of, and hops over pieces. So this is the initial idea, but I realized this piece was so boring, so I needed to make it slightly more powerful. So here's our clown piece. Now, if you were to put the clown in the starting position of the king, this is what it would look like. It could do some special things like this. One thing I should mention is that when the king is in the square, he can move like this. When the bat is in the square, as long as it's taking a piece, it can move as far up as it wants when it's taking the piece like this. And thank you for watching Halloween Chess. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It will really help me. And comment anything that you feel I missed, or if you have any questions, or if you just want to tell me about a chess piece you came up with yourself. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.